What if I told you your intelligence isn't your greatest strength when it comes to happiness? 68% of high IQ individuals report chronic dissatisfaction, not because they lack resources, but because their minds are literally wired to kill joy. You are the type to solve complex problems in seconds, but cannot figure out why you are stuck in a cycle of anxiety, overthinking, and comparison. You are not broken. You are just dealing with the hidden costs of a high-octane brain. Intelligent minds crave control. But here is the twist. The more you analyze a situation, the more you paralyze yourself. Harvard studies show high IQ individuals experience 3 times more decision fatigue because your brain turns a simple coffee choice into an existential crisis. Your solution is to embrace good enough. Let go of the need to optimize every detail. Your happiness is not in the perfect plan, it is in the messy, imperfect now. Smart people compare themselves to Einstein. But here is the brutal truth. Everyone's life is a highlight reel. You are measuring your raw, unfiltered journey against someone else's curated masterpiece. Curious what happens when you quit comparing. Try tracking one day where you focus solely on your own wins. Joy does not come from outsmarting others. It comes from outgrowing your own need for external validation. Consider the story of a brilliant software engineer named Leo. Leo could code a complex algorithm in his sleep, but he spent his nights scrolling through LinkedIn, convinced every former classmate had surpassed him. He was making a fortune, but felt like a failure. This is not an isolated case. Social comparison theory explains this perfectly. We evaluate our own worth based on how we stack up against others. For intelligent people, the bar is set impossibly high against historical figures and modern prodigies. The data is sobering. A longitudinal study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that individuals with high cognitive ability were significantly more prone to upward social comparison, leading to a 25% higher incidence of depressive symptoms. Leo's breakthrough came when he deleted his social media apps for a month and replaced that time with a simple journaling habit. He wrote down 3 small personal achievements each day, no matter how trivial. Within 2 weeks, the constant background noise of anxiety began to fade. He was not suddenly happier because he was better than anyone, but because he stopped keeping score. Then there is the perfection paradox. Chasing flawless outcomes is a surefire way to set yourself up for disappointment. Your brain, trained to spot errors and optimize systems, applies the same ruthless standard to your life. This is where the philosophical issue of meaning crashes into your psychology. The ancient Stoics understood this well. They preached the dichotomy of control, focusing only on what you can influence and accepting the rest. Your intelligent mind rebels against this. It wants to control everything, to craft a perfect life narrative. But life is inherently messy. A landmark study from the University of Kentucky linked perfectionism in high achievers directly to burnout, anxiety, and a higher risk of cardiovascular issues. Your pursuit of the perfect is literally stressing your heart. Imagine a novelist, a true wordsmith, who has been laboring over the same manuscript for 5 years. She revises every sentence a dozen times, terrified of a single critic's potential comment. Her perfect book remains unfinished, a source of shame rather than pride. Her story is a cautionary tale of how intelligence, when directed inward as criticism, becomes a prison. The fix is not to lower your standards, but to redirect them. Aim for progress, not perfection. Embrace the Japanese concept of wabi-sabi, finding beauty in imperfection and transience. That novelist finally published her book when she accepted it would have flaws. The reviews were mixed, but the act of completion, of sharing her creation with the world, brought her a profound relief and joy she had never felt during all those years of perfecting. Your brain is also a prediction machine, constantly simulating future scenarios. This is a survival advantage, but it becomes an emotional curse. You are always living in a hypothetical tomorrow, worrying about problems that have not even materialized. This robs you of the present moment, where actual happiness resides. Neuroscience shows that the brain's default mode network, responsible for self-referential thought and mind-wandering, is often hyperactive in intelligent individuals. You are constantly running simulations, analyzing past conversations for hidden meanings, and forecasting potential disasters. This mental time travel is exhausting. Think of a financial analyst who can predict market trends with uncanny accuracy. He spends his weekends not enjoying his family, but running mental models of every possible economic downturn, worrying about investments that are, by all objective measures, secure. His intelligence has gifted him a crystal ball that only shows storms. The practice of mindfulness is not just a buzzword for him. It is a necessary circuit breaker. Studies from Massachusetts General Hospital show that consistent mindfulness meditation can physically reduce the gray matter density in the amygdala, the brain's fear center, while strengthening the prefrontal cortex, responsible for rational thought. It is the biological undo button for overthinking. He started with just 5 minutes a day, focusing solely on the sensation of his breath. When a worry about interest rates intruded, he would simply note the thought and let it pass, like a cloud in the sky. Over time, the constant hum of future tripping quieted down. He began to hear his children's laughter again. Intelligent people often fall into the curiosity trap, seeking endless knowledge but avoiding decisive action. You confuse understanding with solving. You read 10 books on happiness, yet do not implement a single strategy. This is the paradox of choice amplified by intellect. The more options you analyze, the less likely you are to choose any. Philosopher Søren Kierkegaard wrestled with this, describing the dizziness of too much freedom. You think your way into stagnation. A classic Columbia University study on jam selection demonstrated this. Shoppers presented with 24 varieties of jam were less likely to purchase any than those presented with only 6. Your mind, with its vast capacity, turns your life into a supermarket with 10,000 jars of jam. You stand there, analyzing the ingredients of each until the store closes. Action, even imperfect action, creates momentum. Knowledge without application is just mental clutter. Consider a PhD student who has spent 7 years researching her dissertation topic. She knows more about her niche subject than anyone alive. Yet she cannot bring herself to write the conclusion chapter because she fears it will not be comprehensive enough. She is stuck in the library of her own making. Her advisor finally gave her an ultimatum. Write 1 page a day, no editing allowed until the draft is done. It was agonizing at first, but the act of producing words, however imperfect, broke the spell. The dissertation got finished, not because it was perfect, but because it was done. Finally, there is the burden of meaning. Intelligent minds are not satisfied with simple pleasures. They demand grand narratives and profound purpose. This can make ordinary, joyful moments feel trivial or unworthy. You are waiting for a lightning bolt of significance while sunshine is warming your skin. Viktor Frankl, the psychiatrist and Holocaust survivor, wrote extensively about man's search for meaning. But he also cautioned that meaning is found in the response to life's moments, not in waiting for a preordained epic destiny. Your intelligence makes you question everything, including your own happiness. Is this joy authentic? Is this purpose meaningful enough? The questioning itself becomes the barrier. A study from the University of California, Berkeley, found that individuals who scored high on intelligence tests often reported lower levels of life satisfaction, precisely because they engaged in excessive metacognition or thinking about their own thinking. They were observing their happiness from a distance, analyzing it, and thus killing it. Picture a philosopher, a man paid to think deeply, sitting in a beautiful garden. The flowers are blooming, the birds are singing. Instead of feeling the peace, he is deconstructing it. What is the biological basis of this sensory pleasure? Is my appreciation of this beauty just a Darwinian adaptation? He is so busy defining the garden that he forgets to be in it. The shift is simple but profound. Practice absorption. Lose yourself in an activity without analyzing it. Let your brain be a tool for experience, not a commentator on it. That philosopher started gardening with his hands, getting dirt under his nails. The physical, non-intellectual act of nurturing a plant finally quieted his analytical mind and brought a direct, unmediated sense of contentment. Your brain is a powerful instrument, but like any sophisticated tool, it requires a manual. You have been using it on the wrong setting, treating life like a complex puzzle to be solved rather than an experience to be lived. The solution is not to dumb yourself down. It is to smarten up about how your own mind works. Start by identifying your primary trap. Is it overthinking, comparison, perfectionism, future tripping, analysis paralysis, or the meaning burden? Choose one. For 1 week, apply the antidote. If you are an overthinker, set a 2-minute timer for small decisions and stick to your first choice. If you are a comparer, do a digital detox for 1 hour a day. If you are a perfectionist, deliberately complete a small task to a 70% standard and leave it. These are not life hacks. They are neurological retraining exercises. Your brain has built deep ruts of habit. You need to pave new roads. The goal is not to eliminate your intelligence, but to liberate yourself from its unintended side effects. To become the author of your own joy, not just the critic of your own life. Share which trap resonates most with you in the comments below. This is not just a video. It is the beginning of a different conversation with your own mind. You are not broken. Your brain is just asking for a new recipe for happiness.